You shout out Soda TV too?
Show TV shout out.
Okay.
Soda TV.
Soda TV, what up?
Okay.
Soda TV. Shout out. Welcome to Soda TV.
What's your name? Whatever it is.
Soda TV. It's Soda TV.
Now I'm gonna say this first and foremost, and with all due respect. If you weren't born in the 50s or the 60s or are a direct relative of Larry Hoover, I don't give a f what you have to say.
Welcome back to Soda TV. $10.90 fake. It looked like you done bit off way more than you can possibly chew, cut up, and all the other stuff, man. Like you wanted to go viral so bad. You saw Larry Hoover. You saw his name attached to some lowdown negativity, and you went for it, boy. I'm glad it came out like this because you see what he was saying in the intro. Like he didn't got that big head, and he didn't got that comfortable. You know what I'm saying? He knew he was gonna be playing with fire. Trust me, the dude know he was playing with fire. Just look at the beginning when he's saying, "Oh man, I ain't worried about you. If you won back then, GD, then him not. I don't care what you say." Like what, dude? You talking about, dude? So he ain't really know the magnitude of what he was doing when he reported this. You know, and then got everybody else reporting, but they probably was going to report it without him. But being that he's a big one and he spoke on how he did, you know what I'm saying? Because he's the only person I see being dang near outed by this Larry Hoover, by these Larry Hoover claims. Yeah, he's about the only one I see being outed for it. So, you know, he had to say some foul stuff. I listened to it. Most of it, right? And 1090 Jake was mostly reading off the paper, not gonna lie. But 1090 Jake also said he confirmed it, you know, through several different reliable sources. So, you know, so it's like a 50-50, but you know, shoot. 90 Jake, everybody got to be accountable, man. Today is just the day for your beating. That's all it is, man. Ain't nothing. But we have to be brutally honest sometimes when we trying to unveil some things. 1090 Jake is a little it kid who is been crossing boundaries for a while now. He's been given passes and people have showed him grace based on a couple factors that he didn't had it going on in his life. One of the bigger being that he was affiliated with the Bloods, which was, no, that's what they call 1090. I forgot what that stands for, but that's what it's called. And I actually got, man, I'm gonna get into so much information about that when we expose him today with this what we got at Hera. So you don't even worry about that for 1 second. So we're gonna keep going. So now we have coming up his Ang, which was the 1090 Bloods or whatever their official name is. They're exposing 1090 Jake for about the same reason why everybody on his along with the sevenfolds allegedly, you know, And yeah, man, I don't know how 1090 Jake gonna get out of this, because it seemed like you knew, like it seemed like he knew what he was doing. It seemed like he knew what he was up against, you know, and it wasn't that wasn't a real big issue for him. You would definitely have to watch it, you know. It's just the same amount of boldness he had in the clip that I played at the beginning. You know, he got that, oh yeah, it's the paperwork, you know, you guys ain't gonna do nothing, and type stuff. But you know, I think this was a very bad mistake on his behalf. But you know, I ain't wishing nothing happened to 1090 Jake, but definitely minimum apology. But like, you can look, as I'm about to show y'all, these are some of the comments that people are leaving. You know, it's UGLY for 1090 Jake out here in these streets. Facto is it ain't good, like, at all. I'm not getting no good vibes from this at all. And this is the reality that he's made for himself. So can't help him with that. You know what I'm saying? But just check out what they saying, you know? And like, I got some nasty work for you today, man. Like, nasty. I think y'all gonna like it. You know? So I'm gonna go start this right by saying that I'm gonna take it from the top, and I'm finna give you the exclusive, right? So 1090 Jake, he got that newspaper article. I don't know where it came from, right? But it's official. It's an official newspaper article. He did confirm that. He confirmed a lot of this stuff on his video. You know, and he said he also matched it with several other things and documents that made it legit. But how you do that? And you know, you got the guy that did it to Larry Hoover. We got him speaking today, matter of fact. So I ain't even got to talk too much. So 1090 Jake felt like the paperwork was legit because basically, I just feel like, because I feel like he lied about saying that he compared it with several other, you know, credible demos. I doubt that. I think that, like he said, it's a certified document printed up by the government. If I'm kind of saying that right. And can the newspaper be considered a document though? But y'all know what I mean. So he probably feel like, you know, it holds as much weight as paperwork. You know, they're both what? Issued by the government, controlled by the higher ups, and they both are recorded statements. But one is fallible, very fallible, which is news reporting. You know, and a lot of us that learned how they use that against us is we studied the 60s, the Black Power movements and all that. So if you know, you know. And they said they was back in the mafia times. They was putting out lies and lies every day to when they want certain things to happen between certain groups or certain members and stuff. It's like, it's all a game. Yeah, you just gotta look at propaganda and flat out, well, you gotta understand that it depends on what you're labeled, right? You got the Black Power movement, all of them, Pan-Africanism, the Black Panthers, the Garveyites, Chemetics and Nation of Islam. And so Nation of Islam and the mob have something in common. You know, they were declared what #1 enemy of the United States, right? With that, that's when you're almost guaranteed. No, not almost. That's when you're guaranteed propaganda. Almost 22 out of 24 hours a day, and you're gonna have published lies. You know, and it's all because now you're against the government, and guess who prints the papers up? Can't be against us trying to live over here on our land and feel like that about us. You know, that's why they want to lock people up now for the what they have with the Obama stuff, man. That they can hold you indefinitely for stuff, for certain crimes. Don't nobody want no parts of that. Not me. That stuff sounds horrific. So me personally, I never witnessed like false printing and reporting in the newspaper. I don't think I ever witnessed that. Like for real. I did witness something, but I just can't get it off my. But it wasn't mine. It wasn't my area or anything like that. But anyway, moving on. So 1090 Fake, you know, he's reading the article and repeating the article, but why people so mad at him, he's actually stamping it at the same time. You know, so you know, he goes on to read it and says that Larry Hoover did in fact tell on the guy that him on the first day of school, right outside the principal's office, right in front of everyone. That's what 1090 Jake is saying. That's what he's standing behind. And we gonna get into it. We got the guy here today. You know, I learned a lot today. I really did. You know, I learned that one, all content ain't good content. You know, it's not just because it got a kicker, just because something happened to somebody and viewers are going to tune in, it doesn't mean that it should be reported. And most certainly it don't mean I should be doing the reporting. And I learned also that, you know, you don't want to report something like this, such as this, right? Something that involves criminal activity to the highest degree, and it accuses someone. You know, you always want to have paperwork, so you make sure you're covering your A when you report, and you make sure you're reporting something official. And that's always been very important to me. No, I don't know about nobody else. We gonna get to the nitty gritty, you know, and also I'ma show how 1090 Fake was capping. You know, we still bringing the guy up here that did that to Larry Hoover. Yes, you got the right place. Yes, we gonna see what he got to say. So not only is 1090 Jake been outed. No, go back. And I'm gonna also do a separate video. You know, you're gonna get to see the headlines and all that stuff. But anyway, moving on. You know, not only is 1090 Jake being outed by his former crew, I don't even know why they kicked him out, but they got old stuff they exposing, and but they got new stuff they exposing, and the older stuff is even worse, man. I gotta show y'all, like, man, listen here. Yeah, y'all know what's going on. But they said that they originally weren't going to allow him to join 1090. I don't know. I mean, the headline say it was because they were saying he was this color, but they say he got the doing extra. You know how basically doing the most to get the group's attention, to the point to where, a kid can cry so much, the mama can ignore the kid, like, man, I'm tired of you crying. You ain't getting nothing till you done crying. A kid can cry so much to where the mama give in now. Right? So you had 1090 Jake caught their eye, and I guess they must have gave in, man. And made him 1090. And that's embarrassing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's embarrassing, blood. Because it's just like, when you doing stuff, first of all, either way, it's like people that do that, that's really like that, and that still do anything and everything and go all the way over and beyond and this and that, those are labeled crash outs. But 1090 Jake wasn't even a crash out. He was just really goofy. It's crazy, man. Yeah, what fascinated me is everybody started exposing this old information, and it's I ain't gonna lie, it's been out here, but I ain't never clicked on it because it ain't never really interested me, right? And plus, they was saying that 1090 Jake just wrote a complaint or a grievance on the CO, but no, you didn't. This is a statement that I'm looking at. It's just not a court document. You feel me? But it's definitely a statement with 1090 Jake giving names, details, and he tops it all off with a help me please, help me please, help me. Not for real. That's why I'm like, man, y'all welcome to rewind and read the whole statements and take it from the beginning and everything you need. Go through them. I'm sorry, grievances. Statements. Grievances. Grievance statements. Go through them slowly. You feel me? But I got to go ahead and conclude this with the proof that I told y'all I was going to give y'all, which is that 1090 Jake and the government are both at fault for pushing a fake narrative and putting fake, government publishing fake not instances, but it is an instance, but fake events, right? And for 1090 Jake, for you having that huge platform and putting that up there, man, shame on you, man. Like, talking about you verified it. You can't verify a lie. We got the dude right here. He finna give it all up. So then what you gonna do? He already done chewed you up on the internet, man. But I did say, yes, I believe the government put that fake paperwork. Basically, I agree 100% with Wack. The government put the fake paperwork out there because they feel like Larry Hoover stand a chance of coming home, and they feel like they can get the youth and a sent off to do something to Larry Hoover to go ahead and get him in that state prison. Even though he's going to still, even with him, he denounced the organization, but I think he'll still have just as much power or even more. So I think Larry Hoover should be good in that aspect. You know what I'm saying? So, and like I said, yes, people are actively looking for 1090 Snake, 1090 Fake, 1090 Jaker for this. He know it. It's all over the internet. All you got to do is look at all these videos dealing with Larry Hoover. If you type in Larry Hoover and you put the word next to it, the snitch word, you're going to either see 1090 Jake at the top, or you're going to see a lot of videos and they're referencing to 1090 Jake. So yeah, 1090 Jake, he did a lot of damage, man. He going to have to pay for that, man. You know, but I'm going to definitely stay out of it. You feel me? And yes, it's yeah, there's more than just stuff on the internet that is dealing with 1090 Jake and his life being at stake, but it's just I can't put no politics on no video dealing with nothing like this. It can't put no politics on that, period. So y'all gonna have to figure that out a different way, or wait to 1090 Jake pop out. You know what I'm saying? And then question that. But I think that's the last thing before we go ahead and get into the nitty gritty, which is the big part. We're gonna be speaking on the Larry Hoover, and it's gonna come from the himself. Yes, the himself. And I'm gonna stop rapping.
Yeah, my name is James Hunter Smith. I was the shooter, cause it's not alleged. I did do the shooting, and I did serve time in prison. But it wasn't at the behest of Larry Hoover. Larry Hoover never told me. Matter of fact, there was over 100 people in the hallway, so there wasn't no way everybody knew I did it. Wasn't no statement made by Larry Hoover, so it wasn't no one opinion. Got you. Now,
So 1090 Jake, I don't know what an apology gonna do at this point. You know, people done begged you all up and down to not do the video, but you felt just like you feel in the intro of this video when I don't care what none of you supposed followers say. If you're not from where this began and that from that era, then I don't give a, and all this stuff. Yeah, I mean, dang, man. What kind of advice do y'all have for our boy 1090 Jake in case he sees this video and he land up in somebody's house scared under the computer desk? You know, what can y'all say to him? You know, a sentence or two, you know, and let him know, give him some advice on what he can do, because he might have bit off you know, way more than a gram or more than he could intake. So let him know down in the comment section. Along with that, like, share, and subscribe. You know, notification bell. Keep you notified on everything I drop. You know, like I say, I'm gonna start doing a raffle, giving away Cash App every month for the people that's liking and sharing this video. Of course, you probably subscribe, but that's gonna be a requirement too. Yeah. So that's what we doing. This is the self-proclaimed #1 news channel on YouTube at this time, The Real Soda TV. It is written right up there. I'm out.